This is the Z06 Stage 2 style rear spoiler winglet kit, and it is available for all 2014 through 2019 Corvettes, equipped with the Stage 2 spoiler, but excluding those ZR1s. Now, this is gonna be a great option for the Stage 2 spoiler C7 owners out there looking to get a little bit more height, downforce, and appearance out of their stock spoiler, thanks to a very affordable and easy to install kit. Now, the Stage 2 winglets will combine a durable ABS plastic build along with that carbon flash finish and can be had all for right around that $200 price point for the pair. So again, right off the bat, these winglets are only going to apply to the C7 owners equipped with that Stage 1 spoiler. Now, with that being said, these winglets are going to replace your factory Stage 2 winglets and add 1.5 inches to that spoiler, which will do a few things for you. First and foremost, going to increase your downforce ever so slightly at speed, but along with that, it will also make for a much more aggressive appearance from the rear end. So this is kind of one of those modifications that balances both function and form. Now, moving into construction, and the winglets will be made from an OE quality ABS plastic that is then given that carbon flash metallic finish to match some of the other exterior plastics found on your C7 at home. Now, the winglets will install using the same mounting locations for a relatively simple swap, as we'll show you guys here in a minute. All right, moving into our pricing segment, and this Stage 2 winglet kit will land around 200 bucks, give or take a bit, which might seem a little bit steep at first considering what you're actually getting here. That is, of course, until you consider the actual factory GM Stage 2 winglet kit and realize those are gonna be a few hundred bucks more than the kit that we have with us here today. So again, it is gonna deliver a very factory-like appearance, but for a fraction of the cost of the factory winglets. All right, let's switch gears and talk about the installation, and the site's gonna call this a solid 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you a couple of hours at absolute most to complete from start to finish. But now to give you a better idea of what you're in for in the garage or driveway at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
All right, for this install, you're gonna need a drill, a 3/8 impact driver, various trim tools, a rubber wheel, a 4mm Allen, various adapters, and a T20 Torx bit. Today we're going to be installing spoiler winglets on our Corvette. Let's get started. All right, to start off, we're going to remove the stock winglet. We're going to start off by removing all of these screws on the back here. These are T20 Torx bits. So we're just going to take this off with our impacts. And we'll move on to the back end. All right, including these 4 bolts that we have to take off, there's also adhesive tape on the backing of this. So we're gonna gently work our way down the sides, cutting the adhesive and working our way down to get this off. So we're gonna start off by getting in here and getting just a little bit of a wedge right there so we can work our way down. All right, now that we have the stock winglet removed, we have all this extra adhesive material that we're probably gonna need to get off before we install the new one. So what we can do is, you can get this off any way you see fit, adhesive remover, plastic razor blade, but we're gonna use a rubber wheel just to get most of this off. All right, now that we have our rubber wheel, we're gonna try to get some of this off. All right, now that we have the old adhesive cleaned up, now we can install our new winglet. Just get that lined up. We'll get one bolt started for now. All right, once we have all 4 bolts lined up and we're happy where we want it, we can now tighten this down with our 4mm Allen. All right, once you have everything installed and tightened down, you can repeat for the other side. All right, that wraps up our install for Z06 Stage 2 style rear spoiler winglets in carbon flash metallic for 14 to 19 Corvette C7, excluding ZR1. Just remember, for everything Corvette related, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.